Hello and welcome to another game of Re-Awaken in a Strange Place. I'm Weston. You can find me at Lava Submersible all over the internet. I'm joined by a couple of my good buddies, Nick and Alexis. Now, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick. Social media, whatever you want to do, whatever you do, just let the audience know what your passions are.
Awesome. I guess I'll start. I'm a witch. I'm a practicing witch, and I make a whole bunch of yarn art and any kind of other varied arts. It's very rare that someone asks me if I can make something, and I say, no, I don't do that thing. So pretty much, if you have the idea, I'm really happy to try to make it a reality. I have Instagram and Facebook. If you search Alexis Evon with Evon spelled EVON, you'll find me. I'm pretty much the only one.
And my name's Nick, and I'm a actor and director mainly. And a lot of people have been telling me to start a good social media game, so look for me in the future. I don't know what my name will be. I don't know what it is on Instagram right now. Maybe it's Nicholas Frobard. But start looking. I'm gonna start trying to put out some reels and things. Yeah. But yeah, like I just like performing and doing stuff, and I'm lucky right now to be directing a couple of shows. So I'm just I love creating art and being around people that are doing that.
I'm so glad to have you guys. This is going to be a blast. We're playing Re-Awaken in a Strange Place. It's a game by Jacob Andrews, the Drawfee channel. If you don't know Drawfee, definitely give them a look. They do great work. And this game is it's fairly simple. It's fairly straightforward. Most of the rules are just have fun with it. You're going to have... We're first going to start by establishing the setting. You've got your pencil, you got your writing utensils, all that, or your paper and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
So, we've already established I'm going to be running the game today. I'm going to have you both start out by rolling 2d6.
You want to go first?
Yep.
Go next.
2 and 4.
1 and 2.
All right. So Nick, you got a 6, and Alexis got a 3.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. So I'm gonna have take a moment and think about this. I'm gonna have Nick. You're going to think of an adjective that will describe, a genre that will describe the type of game we're going to be playing today. And Alexis, I'm going to have you think of an adjective that will help define that setting we're going to be playing in. So just take a moment and think about it. I'm thinking of a location for us today, and we'll kind of work that out as a group as well. So whenever you're ready, let me know your genre and adjective.
Buddy comedy.
Beautiful.
Are we going with an adjective like an ly word? Or am I
That would
thinking
be an
that's
adverb.
an adverb? Oh gosh, and I majored in English. Okay, so no, I know what an adjective is then. We're gonna go with puzzling. Does that work? It's a very puzzling thing. Like that's like an adjective.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got there.
Okay. Puzzling. All right. All right, and we're gonna need a location for this puzzling buddy comedy. I think that's a really interesting thing. My instinct, it is of course like a big city, right? You know, we have like so many different buddy cop kind of or buddy comedies that take place in like a big metropolis, you know, area full of life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any ideas to like that might just off the top to subvert that, or is that kind of like where you're at as well?
Yeah, like what's the opposite of that? Like in the forest.
Or something super urban, you know? Yeah, like Country Boys, you know? Which I would also watch. Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard is a great buddy comedy. like urban or a rural
Urban?
rather.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
I'm okay. I got it. I got there.
A rural buddy comedy. Yeah, okay.
Or yeah, you could go fantasy. I feel like there are not that many fantasy buddy comedies.
You know what I mean? Like Zootopia is kind of like a buddy
I guess
comedy,
that's
you know?
true.
But, and
Yeah.
that just is like it's an animal world, but
it's
like
also
that
like a cop
idea, you know?
story.
Yeah.
Or even one of my favorite, because there's not a lot of there's a lot of tries at doing comedy and fantasy together, and a lot of the time it kind of misses for me anyway. But I absolutely adored Gallivant. If you haven't seen it,
I
Yeah,
love
yes.
Gallivant. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm super about it.
So so puzzling. I keep thinking like this is a mystery to be solved, or something of that nature. Is that kind of where you were going with that?
That is kind of what I was thinking. Honestly, the one that kind of came to mind was have you seen, because Nick said buddy comedy, have you seen The Night Before? That one about Christmas where it's Seth Rogen and Justin Long
Anthony
and
Mackie.
and they're all trying to go to this Christmas party, but you also kind of like find out things about everybody and see into like background stories, and then they separate and then they all come back together again at the end. I guess that's kind of what I was thinking about with like puzzling. Like there's stuff to figure out and there's moving pieces to like fall into place, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I can dig that. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So, is this Earth? Is this like our world? Or is this like you guys want to go kind of out there with it? Like, I mean, we have a rural buddy comedy, puzzling buddy comedy. Is that like, I almost think like I love the idea of doing something that's very like, I guess almost old westy. But
Yeah,
like almost more like that Coen Brothers movie from a few years ago, No Country for Old Men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that kind of vibe. But I could also see it being like the new frontier, you're farming Mars or something like that. You know what? I think what will help define this world even further is let's build some characters in this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we've got a rural puzzling buddy comedy. I'm gonna have you both roll with one more time.
Okay. I got a total of 7. Do you need to know the individual dice numbers?
No.
Okay, great.
6.
Yeah, I got a total of 7 then.
All right. So Alexis, you're going first this time.
Okay.
You are basically to build your character. I just want you to describe what kind of character you want to be in this world. When we were coming up with the setting, what was like a character that was calling out to you?
Okay, so we're kind of going with an old west rural feel, but also buddy comedy. I'm placing the character from like I'm so bad at names and titles. The one with Melissa McCarthy and they're like cops.
Sandra Bullock.
And Sandra Bullock, yeah, Sandra Bullock's character in that movie where they're together and they're cops, where she's kind of like follows the rules, but she also is just the best at what she does, Like, so I feel like I am a kind of a gunslinger that follows my own rules. Kind of an outlaw, but like not an outlaw that doesn't care about nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so are you
Creating a very specific character, like a bandit, but a bandit in a team of bandits.
Oh, so not a lawman, but a criminal.
Yeah,
a bandit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, what kind of banditry do you all get into? Robbing trains and stuff like that, or?
I'm gonna have to go with Robin Trains.
Oh, okay. So we have our first character is a train robbing bandit. Do you have a name for this bandit?
Let's go with all of the names that are flipping through my head are pretty silly. Let's go with Killshot Kate.
Damn.
Yeah. That rules. Killshot Kate. I love it. I love it. Killshot Kate sounds like a formidable person. Can you tell me about a little bit more about your train robin bandit, who's very by the book, has their own set of internal rules that they follow to a T, right?
Totally. So Killshot Kate, her mom died really young. So she was raised by her dad, and she was raised to like live off the land and figure out how to do all the things that she needed to do and how to make things happen when they needed to happen. You know, draw that hard line. And then recently, or I mean, I don't know, like late teen years, her father also passed away, and her land was taken away because she's a woman, and so she just took to train robin and makes a lucrative career.
Who took your land? Was it the state?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, those goddamn bastards.
You know, like they're not gonna take care of me. I'm not gonna take care of them. You know.
Yeah, so the state took your land because you're a woman. Oh my god. That's tragic. Okay, I love this backstory. Okay, so got basically what I need here for your characters. Anything else you want to add to this?
I don't think so. No, I'm pretty happy with that.
Great. So let me get your skill verbs. I'm gonna give you. You're gonna have 4 skill verbs. And this is gonna be something you're amazing at, something you're good at, something you're bad at, and something you're horrible at. You're gonna get
Great.
a +2, a +1, a -1, and a -2 to those skills.
Okay.
So, what would be something that Killshot Kate is amazing at?
Accurate, like I don't know, accuracy when you're shooting, precision. What is the like? What's the word when you've got really good
I think accuracy and
accuracy
precision
would be
are...
right? Accuracy.
Yeah.
So
This will be your kind of all-purpose firearm skill, and I'm gonna say that we're gonna give it a very flavorful name. This is gonna be called Killshot because you're Killshot Kate. And what is something that Killshot Kate would be good at?
reading people.
Oh, okay, very perceptive
Yeah.
with the tells. All right. People. All right. What is something that you would be not very good at? You would be bad at. You're gonna get a -1 to this.
Teamwork.
Oh,
Okay, so you've got a team of bandits, but you have a hard time working with them. You like to lead them, but not necessarily. Okay, okay. Teamwork.
I think she's got trust issues, you know, so like it's hard to like reach out and build a team.
Yeah, no, I see it. Yeah, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. What is something that she would be awful at, horrible at? -2.
Fitting into society.
Fitting in. I love that. Cool. All right. So remember all those skills, and actually, I should let you know now. You will actually have access to all 4 of these skills as well, Nick, with your character. But they're all going to be zeros to the scores instead of the +1s. These are establishing all the skill verbs that we're going to be able to use in the game, like in D&D, where you have, you know, dexterity, or I guess more accurately, like stealth and things like that.
Cool.
So we've got Killshot Kate all written up. Nick, what do you got for me?
All right, so my character's name is Jack Phillip, quotation mark, Jumpin J.P. Button Willow.
Jumpin J.P. Button Willow?
Yeah, Button Willow is my name is Jack Phillip Button Willow, but I'm known to people as Jumpin J.P.
Jumpin J.P. Button Willow.
I'm a young whippersnapper coming up on the rural land who has his head in the stars and his heart in the clouds. And he is raised by. It's sort of a it's kind of like a Spider-Man situation, except for it's like two like uncles, but maybe they're not really his uncles, just like two old rural Westerner fellas that took him in as a child. And he's known as Jumpin' JP because they say when he was birthed out of his mother, he jumped up off the floor and did a yeah, you know what I mean? So everyone was like, it's Jumpin' JP. And like he just is just like believes he can do all this stuff. And like the two old guys that raise him, Tom and Pete, they used to be roughnecks on the plane, but now they've settled down and they got a house, and they're like, they took him in because they knew his mother. And it's not clear how they knew his mother. Maybe there was some sort of backstory there that he doesn't know about, but they took him in and they've been raising him, teaching him how to farm the land. He's sort of like also like a Luke Skywalker, like with, you know, like wanting to be like, I should be out fighting. And then like what's the uncle's name in Star Wars?
Ben.
Oh,
Uncle Ben is like, you can't go, you gotta do the harvest with me. And he's like, I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly.
Kind of like secondhand lions.
I love it.
And lions. Robert Duvall is one of them for sure. So you know, and he's always like thinking like he wants it, you know, he thinks he wants it big, but he's not, you know, again, he's not. The moral compass, I think, is like it wavers because again, the guys he's been raised by are be like, we used to rob banks and shoot our name in the walls. And he's like, I wish I had a 6-shooter. But then they don't give it to him, you know. So that leading that him not having a gun though, I want my top skill to be I'm very good at fashioning things. Like I'm good at like whipping up like a crack whip or like a, you know, what's the thing that the guy used to kill the giant in the Bible? A rock slingshot. Yeah. So I'm good in just in the moment being like, I can make that, you know, like MacGyvering things.
Okay. That's a lot. Excellent. Thank you. That's a lot to work with, which I am glad to have. So
I don't know. We'll see what it maybe
engineering, right?
Engineering is it?
Imagineering. If this was a Disney movie. All right. So Jumpin' J.P. Button Willow, an idealist, whippersnapper, with a thirst for adventure, raised by his two uncles, Tom and Pete, taught him how to farm, but all you want is to know yourself through this, through pushing your limits and adventuring and seeing the world. Amazing. Okay. Let's move right into skills. You've given me so much to work with there. What is something that Jumpin' JP would be amazing at?
I think that's the engineering or whatever. I think that's the best one. Like in any situation, you could be like, I can make, if we have a rock and a screw and 2 shoelaces, I can create a thing that'll stop this train. People are
yeah.
Like, wow. I'll be like, don't you worry about it. Jumpin' JP's on the case.
I love that. So what is something that you would be good at? You'd get a +1 to this.
Well, I was gonna say teamwork, but teamwork I'm a 0 because I was on yours. So, but my idea was that I was like good at being like calming people down or like
morale.
Morale. That's a good way. Yeah, that's a good one. Like getting people to be like, we can do it. You know, like always believing. He's good at believing.
Yeah. He's a charismatic young dude. He's got all the piss and vinegar in the world.
Yes, so much vinegar pee.
Yeah.
Something I'm bad at.
Yes. What is something you are bad at?
I am just kind of bad at courage or fortitude.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and it's
You.
one of those things where it's like his heart, his dreams are as big as they can be, but in the moment, it's like I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like they're like, okay, then jump, and I'm like, no, I'll just find a way to climb down. And they're like, there's no way, and he rolls down.
I love it. What is something you are horrible at?
Something I am horrible at is cooking. Doesn't make any good food.
Tom and Pete, they just didn't know, and they were very simple with their meal prep.
They were, and
anytime it was cooking, they did it,
Yeah, and even to their credit, they'd be like, all right, Jumpin J.P, make us some dinner tonight. And then it was one of those things where it's like the way they eat the stew in Lord of the Rings, and they're like, this is really good. Gross.
Okay. This is perfect. We have just about all we need. I'm going to have. So yeah, I think because normally we would have one more player and we would come up with another few skill verbs. So we're gonna just do that together today. What are some other skills that you think will help build out this world? Like, what are things that your characters are gonna want to be able to do? You're gonna get zeros in these scores, but do you think you'll be sneaking around? Do you think you'll be trying to catch people by surprise?
Yes, I think stealth is a good idea.
Also, just going off of like thinking about the world too. Like I think like wrangling or things like that. I don't know what you would call it. You know what I mean? But like being able to like, yeah, animals, I guess in general. But also like, I guess wrangling makes you immediately think of like a horse. But if like a wagon was going by or something and you wanted to like lasso onto it, like being able to that all, I don't know.
For sure. I mean,
no. I think wrangling is very flavorful.
In Back to the Future, whenever he just grabs on with the car, I don't think you could do that in the West.
Yeah, well,
wrangling I like.
We're about
I
to
like
find
wrangling.
out.
I think stealth is a good idea.
Yeah.
I also wonder if like being able to convince people is maybe a part of stealth, or would definitely be helpful.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they have any books or internet to look at.
Yeah.
Like they can't really fact
like
check.
That's like persuasion.
Yeah. That's the word. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, talking to the people in the world around you, I think would definitely be a big. I think it's going to come into play a lot. We have kind of the buildings with this world is like an ensemble, so I might be coming up with a bunch of different characters to try and slot in to make that work. But yeah, so communication, I'm going to say, is one of those skills as well. Let's see. What about rope skills? This is a rule story.
Yeah, like rope skills.
Yeah, totally.
That's what I'm trying to think of other things like. No, it wasn't one of the things I put that I was good at. I mean, that would imply a long game.
I would think.
But I was gonna say like farming or things like that.
Yeah.
But still, maybe I guess in the Old West you'd have to know like what plants you could eat that wouldn't kill you. You know.
Yes, I think foraging is a great idea. Foraging, I think it's a very good idea.
Stop crying, dog.
I think you said smithing, and I agree, but I think smithing can also kind of tie into what you were saying about like making things. It can tie into engineering.
Yeah.
So
that's
like
I already can do that.
Yeah, like that's like.
I'm like, give me
making things
4 metal soldiers and I'll turn it into some bullets.
Yeah, that is what you said you were good at.
Fuck yeah, I like that. Oh, is language all right? What are the rules?
Yeah, I can do foraging.
Didn't really check about the
No, this is for we're streaming for Twitch. Don't worry too much about there's some obvious ones that you know. I don't think we have to go over it. Y'all know what's respectability and all that. And this will be airing a little bit later, so we don't have to worry too much about all that. I think we're trying to think of like usual skills you'd have in D&D, but I mean, a lot of these can be retrofitted to kind of slot into most of that. So I think like
Yeah, I mean, I guess
we don't have
another one that's kind of like foraging is similar to insight.
Yeah, but I also have perception, which
Yeah.
is I feel like kind of similar.
Close to.
totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm happy with.
Is there one that's just like knowledge?
Yeah, let's throw that in there.
You know what I mean? Just like knowing about the land, but not necessarily like if we encounter some like other races of people or things, be like, those are that, you know what I mean? Like, even if it's just a 0, but having
History,
some...
you know?
Okay, yeah.
All right. Okay. So, we are going to be playing a rule buddy comedy that is puzzling. You are Jumpin J.P. and Killshot Kate. We have a whole lot of skills ready to go for you. I think I'm just going to tell you a few things, and then I'm going to run away for a minute to come up with a scenario to start us off in.
I love it.
But there's a couple of things I want you to know before I do. So this actually goes to your characters. You are going to have 10 HP apiece.
Okay.
And you're going to have any items that make sense for your character to have. You don't have to tell me about it. Just write it on your sheet. If it comes up, let me know.
Okay.
Feel free to advocate for your skill verbs. If there's one that you want to use, just say, hey, can I use this to try and determine X, Y, Z? And I am more than happy to accommodate. When you roll your 2d6, you're going to add those scores to whatever bonuses that you have, and your roll will determine your success or failure. 6 and below is going to be a failure. A 7 to 9 is a mixed success, and a 10 to 12 is a success. Anytime you do roll a failure, 6 and below, you can mark a tally down on your paper. Each tally will represent a +1 bonus that you can apply to any future roll up to 2 a turn.
You can apply it twice to a turn, you're saying?
Yeah, if you have 2 bonus skills, you can use them. You can use 2.
Okay,
cool.
If you want to assist your teammates in their role, you can use one of your skill verbs to help them out. Your success will give them an additional +2. A mixed success will give them an additional +1. And a failure would mean that if you both fail, then there's going to be consequences in store for both of you.
Okay.
During the game, you can still make statements about this world and make things up that you want to, like we're in a moment and you want to say, oh, I think all of the snakes in this world actually have rubber teeth. We'll roll to determine whether or not that's true.
Nice. Okay.
Other than that, this is a very silly and very stupid game. Do not be afraid to be silly and or stupid.
No problems there.
The only the success of the game is everyone had fun. Other than that, that is all I think you need to know at this moment. I'm going to throw my headphones off and write a bunch of squiggles on a paper that resemble words.
The only question I have real quick before you head out
Absolutely.
is, do we need to, like, I know you said we can choose what supplies or what things we have on us, but should we consider having money from the world? And if so, do we all need to agree what it is? Or is it possible that there are things that are worth stuff because it's rule that could just be traded for things? Like, does that make sense? Like, because like in the other D&D I've done, it's like we had a given amount of funds that we had. So should we
Uh-huh.
plan to have like some sort of something to that effect, or is that not as important?
That's up to you. If you want to have like 100 gold coins or whatever, just to, hopefully add that to, or that might help you out of a situation. You think your character has 100 gold coins? Write it in your sheet.
Okay,
Cool.
great.
All right, folks. I think I have an idea. I will talk to you in a moment.
Okay. And Killshot Kate.
I definitely have
Yeah, what do you have?
some rope.
Rope.
You always need rope.
Always.
And then I want to have like some sort of special stone ore. I don't know what, but it's just like I found on my little times out.
Okay, so what is like
a
I just
meteorite
write
ore. I don't
magical
know.
Ore?
I just write
What do you want me to write? What's in-
undefined metal
Oh my
ore.
gosh. Okay.
That it's gonna come in handy. Watch, it's gonna come in so fucking handy.
I'm sure it will.
And then also I have what do they have in the Old West? I was gonna say cigarettes. How old is my character? He's 8. He still smokes. Yeah, surprise some tobacco. Yeah. A little cigarette rolling kit. Does that make sense? So it had tobacco and papers in it. Yeah. And then but also it's in like a little satchel that I could use as a rock sling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a MacGyver type. And then
You want me to write that
no,
too?
you're fine.
Okay.
Just it's okay.
I'm trying to roll with you. You're fine. I'm just trying to make sure I have everything in your inventory. I have rope, undefined metal ore, and tobacco and rolling kit so far.
Great.
Multi-tool?
Probably just a knife, a pocket knife, or
Okay.
I don't know when pocket knives were invented, but just like a knife.
I mean, a switchblade, no, but like a knife with
A little-
sheath,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, so like a knife.
Totally. But that's what I mean by like a multi-tool, Like sometimes the knives had other edges.
Even in
and,
the Old West? Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then yeah, but that's fine as long as it's that,
Not like screwdriver flip it out type of thing, but like having different edges on different parts of the knife. For sure they had that.
And then a rabbit's foot.
And a rabbit's foot. Okay.
I think that's good. Stop. Please stop crying.
He can't. He doesn't know how.
I don't like that. That's the answer.
He's so sad that I was gone for the weekend.
Well, he needs to pull it together.
My inventory is always so I don't really have that much.
You're a bandit and you don't have that much? You could have everything you want.
I have double pistols and I got 100 gold.
And a trench coat that has 18 extra hidden pockets. 2 bandoliers.
Gunpowder.
One of those bottles of liquor
Rifle.
that just has 3 X's on it. You know, like it's like a porno bottle.
All right. Yeah, totally. That's what my gold is kept in, obviously.
Right. A wanted poster with your face on it that you keep rolled up.
I don't want to keep that.
Because it's not drawn like you, and you're like, oh, they can't get the nose right.
Yeah, exactly.
Picture your dead mother.
No way, man. We're not rich enough for pictures. We lived out on the land. We didn't have no pictures.
Maybe it was a drawing. It's the Old West.
Maybe I drew it of her.
Yeah.
I have a cameo of my mom.
You have a charcoal drawing of your mom.
I have a cameo of my mom.
Cameo.
That's what those ones on the, those little ones that are pale, they're sometimes made on pearl. But it's that color, and it's usually just the silhouette.
Can I also add that I have a telescope?
Yeah,
Periscope? What do the pirates have? That's the one I want. You go like this, and it gets longer? I
think both of them do that. Telescopes are usually mounted, though, and I think periscopes are usually...
I want the one that they were, on a ship, and they were, Land ho, you
Or
know?
periscopes are the ones that are on submarines. I don't know. Let me look it up.
Down Periscope's a submarine movie with Kelsey Grammer.
Yes. No, I know that. Periscope versus telescope.
All I'm saying is I want the handheld one. I don't want one that
A
I got to set.
periscope is a device that allows to inspect objects without inversion while possibly circumventing geometric obstacles to the viewing. Telescope is used for viewing faraway objects in the line of view.
So telescope then, but a handheld one. Pirate telescope.
Yeah, so a periscope is literally one of is essentially
So
one
you
of
can
the
look
ones
around corners?
with mirrors. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not a periscope, but a telescope. What else?
That's all.
Okay.
Tom and Pete gave it to me. They stole it from him.
Sounds likely.
Oh yeah, compass would be
Compass
helpful.
is a great idea. I can have a compass. Or
you
do
see,
you want a
good-
compass?
thank God that we had a
I know,
helper, a
thank
little
goodness
angel
we
on
got a
our
helper.
shoulder. We'd be like so fucked in a rural world. Like, oh, I also have a pack of cheese doodles.
Well,
It's
see,
like,
but Killshot Kate, she judges by the stars.
I knew you were gonna say reading the stars. I knew you were gonna say that, and part of me just good for you. I think that's right. I think you should do that. Knew it.
You can have a compass.
Fine,
it
give me
will
the
be
compass.
helpful.
Got it with my periscope.
About fire starters.
You wouldn't need it in the time. You know how to do it with wood.
I don't think you know how fires work.
I don't think you know how sticks work.
I do know how sticks work, and I'm telling you, like sitting there and wiggling a stick is much more challenging than people of the modern day think.
I didn't say it wasn't hard.
I'm not talking like a whole fire starter, like modern day kit, but like a piece of flint.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. We're gonna put that with your knife.
You awaken in a strange place. The sun beats down on you in the full heat of the desert afternoon. You struggle to wake, your eyes strain against the light. You try and raise your hand to shield it from the sun, but it's stuck. Or it's bound. No, it's tied behind you. You look to see what's binding you, and you meet eyes with a strange visage. JP and Kate, you lay on each other for the first time. It was then that you both noticed that you are tied to each other back to back. You're stuck here. And where are you? You're sitting on the train tracks in the middle of the desert. Your aching backsides are square in the middle of this train tracks. Far in the distance, you begin to hear the steam engine. It blows its horn. And just as it rounds a corner, what do?
We got a spider out of here, man.
Spider push against each other?
Like push against each other and like spider crawl out of here with our legs. You know what I'm saying? Are we going your way or are we going my way? I think we should go my way because your legs are probably stronger.
So you think if I just push, we're
Yeah,
gonna
I think
place
if you
face
push.
plant on your side?
No. We won't face plant.
What's in front? What do you see on your side? Tell me what you see.
Yeah. What do I see on my side? We're in the desert, so it's gonna be like the edge of the train track, a little bit of gravel, I assume, and then like a little bit of like.
Right. Are there any plateaus? Are there any places we can go to get some shade?
You know where you are in relation to the rest of the desert. You know where, this is where you live, ultimately, not necessarily here. You live a couple of miles from here. You can see the edge of the town from here. You can see the mountains that surround it. But where you are is almost just a flat plain. Desert, tumbleweeds, the whole 9 yards, cactus, all that. But not much. Other than the dune.
Options are either spider, like you said, or if we just roll on our side. Train tracks are only 5'3" across. I know that because that's how wide they built them. So they're built like that. So if we just are in the middle and we turn over on our side, and then you roll on top of me onto the other side, you will already be touching the train tracks. And we can just roll out of here.
I mean, either way is fine. I feel like we're gonna have to have our face in the dirt, and we need to do something.
Fine,
Like,
all
I'm
right,
down-
Spider, do it.
If you think rolling would be a more effective measure,
I just have a feeling
I
like
would
if we
hope
don't
that-
push up together, we could have. Well, let's do Spider. Spider, I say go for it. I believe in it. I think that it could come up with it as well.
and we're going my side.
Your side.
Okay,
We're going towards-
Alexis, I'm gonna have you roll teamwork. Nick, I'm gonna have you roll courage. Because the train is getting closer. You have seconds to act.
I have also, I got 8 altogether, a total of 8, but with my teamwork, I think I get -1. So I think I get 7.
Oh God!
Nicholas!
I have a total of 1. Snake eyes, baby!
Oh, wow.
Jumpin J.P.
Look it, I never spidered with anyone before, and first of all, I almost died from a spider bite to the fact that you even bring it up. If my uncles Tom or Pete were here, they'd smack me talking to me about spiders. We can't spider. I said we roll like I said from the beginning. See what you do,
I asked you.
and then I said we do it your way because I believe you seem like you know what you're doing over there. And now look what happened to us.
The train is coming! The train is coming! You gotta move! Go ahead and roll skills!
Again?
What do we have to roll out of here? No, you know what? Can you reach in my pocket? When the train's coming, can you reach in my pocket? Can you reach in my pocket?
I can try.
Then I have a knife in my pocket. Cut us free.
Agreed.
Cut us free. Get the knife out. Cut us free.
Go roll engineering, and I will say, Kate, you can roll. No, you both roll engineering.
Okay.
Nine.
Do you remember? Okay.
Oh no, it's +2, 10.
I got a total of 9.
So 10 and 9.
Okay, at the last second, Kate pulls you over the tracks by herself, shouting at you, screaming at you. And when she goes to cut you free, she accidentally cuts you in your arm.
Ah, damn it!
You take 1 HP.
God! Bless America. Look it. You see what you've done? You see? Oh, if you would just... I had the knife. I had all of it. If you would just cut it right, now I gotta deal with this. How would you be able to find us?
You could have mentioned the knife from Go 1.
You said we should spider.
That was my friend's knife. Knife
Well, look, I don't know what you do in your free time.
-1 HP to Jumpin J.P.
Listen, I don't. Okay, well, you seem to know me, miss. What's your name? I'm saying it to you now. Who are you?
I'm
Cut me.
I'm Killshot Kate. Yeah.
Oh. JP has heard the legends of Killshot Kate.
Well, I can't wait to tell people that Killshot Kate tried to cut my arm off. First of all, second of all, if you are Killshot Kate, have you never held a knife before?
I don't tend to use blades.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I don't have a gun because I don't, I haven't been thieving and such. But I would love to go with you if you're going somewhere, actually. Now, do you have anything that can help with this cut on my arm?
I'm not really much in the ways of healing.
So what do you
But
do?
we're close enough to the town. I think we should just head in there and see if we can figure out something to do for your arm if it's hurting that bad.
If this is, can you just walk into town right now, Killshot Kate?
I mean, we can walk that direction.
No, I'm saying, see, if
Especially
we
if
walk
we-
in, is the sheriff gonna have stuff to say about you showing up there?
Maybe.
Damn it. All right, well,
I tend to hang out on the cusp.
Fair enough. I want to. Can I roll engineering to use some of my tobacco kit and rolling paper and saliva and some dirt to fashion a bandage for my wound?
Yeah, and you know what? While you're go ahead and roll for that, and while you're doing that, Kate, I'm gonna have you roll. This isn't necessarily people, but I'm gonna have you search around using your perception skill.
I rolled a 9, a total of 9 on the engineering.
That is a success on your engineering. It's not the best work you've ever done, but it'll hold for a couple of hours as is. You want to make sure you find some water and maybe hopefully some medicine to try and clean the wound before long. Don't want to lose that arm.
No way. I was saving our lives. My perception roll was 7, and then I get a +1, so I get a total of 8, I think.
As you're kind of gaining your bearings here, you just woken up, you feel a little bit sluggish. You both kind of recognize that there are maybe a lump on the side of your head, and starts coming back to you that you had both been at your home the last you remember. The last thing you remember is that you, JP, you were at home with Tom and Pete. It was nighttime, you had gone to sleep in bed. This is where you wake up in the middle of the afternoon. And Kate, you were in the hideout with the rest of Killshot Kate's bandits. And same kind of situation. You had gone to sleep in bed and woken up here, middle of the afternoon, hours after you normally wake up, I'm sure. So it's a bit of a mystery how you've ended up here today. The train is still rolling by. And on the other side of the tracks, you can see that there is a little station, a switch station, that is typically operated but is currently emptied. There doesn't seem to be anyone in there. But it is on the other side of the tracks, and it will be a moment until the rest of this train car passes before you can get by.
Did you find anything while you were looking for stuff? Weren't you looking around? Or is that what you learned by looking around, is what you just said to us?
That's what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then tell me about it. I was doing a bandage. All right, well,
We want to get to the other side of the tracks.
I gotta get someone to deal with this bandage. It's not gonna last for long. I'll hold up now so I can do stuff, but... So what happened to you?
Well, I just realized that we.
I'm just saying, I went to bed last night. Me and Tom and Pete were hanging out at the farm. I had just come in from doing stuff. And then we had some dinner, some rabbit that they caught, turned into stew. Went to bed, everything was fine, and I woke up tied to you.
Yeah, well, I can't tell you any more than that because that's pretty much exactly what I remembered. So I just went to bed with my people, and then I woke up, and this is where I was. So.
Do you think both of our people just turned on us in the night?
That doesn't seem very likely, but I
mean,
guess
it doesn't
it's
seem
possible.
likely that Tom or
I mean, I
Pete would
guess
do
it's
that
possible.
either. But they are old scoundrels, you know. They took me in. They said they know my mom, but it wasn't clear. They say they're my uncles. I don't think they're family.
That's a lot.
Oh, that's a lot? You run around with a thief, bunch of bandits, robbing people blind.
Yeah, we're pretty
and mine?
straightforward. You know what I mean?
Straightforward bandits seem like the most lyingest folk I've ever heard of in my life.
More than kidnapping children, maybe?
I mean, the same? I don't know. Look they don't think they kidnapped me. They're nice to me, you know? They were until last night, maybe. I don't know. It seems odd.
I just don't think that.
All right, so then we go to this
Is
station.
there any way we can tell if our people have turned us in?
Well, Kate, I know you have trouble fitting in from time to time. Why don't you go and roll a fitting in check to see how you feel about what might have happened to you in the night. And JP, I'm gonna have you,
7.
that in these moments you're not necessarily as sure as yourself as some might be. So I'm gonna have you roll a courage check.
All right, yeah, that's right.
I got a 7 with my -2 added.
Damn.
I got a 10.
So that was my fitting in score.
Okay, so that was a 10 total, or with the after the okay.
Total, and then it's -1 for courage.
Okay, so a success and a mixed success. So, JP, pardon me, JP, you're pretty sure that you're absolutely confident that Tom and Pete would never have done anything to you.
Right.
But that same sense is telling you that are they okay though? If I was taken, what happened to them? And Kate, you know that they know. Without you, they're nothing. But you also know that a few of the bandits in your gang have had a little bit of an attitude lately. Specifically when it comes to the way that you give orders. So that's where you're at, just as the last train car passes. And you can see the engineer's booth, or the switch booth, with a couple of crates sitting next to it.
I know it wasn't Tom or Pete, but I don't know if they're okay, especially if I'm here like this. So I gotta go back to my house. It's finally time for me to start doing what I say I can do, and I gotta go try and do that.
All right, fine. I don't know that I'm going to go to your house with you, but, like, we should definitely check out the building with the crates next to it.
What do you have better to do right now? Go back to a bunch of thieves? You wake up with someone, you're connected to it somehow.
I mean, if it is my literal gang of thieves, and especially if they're going to keep using my name, I do kind of want to know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Right, but if it was your thieves that did this to you...
Why would they pick you? Those people got to answer for their crimes.
Yeah,
I'm not going to have people turning over other people in a gang that's named after me.
And I'm telling you that Tom and Pete used to rule these planes. And if we go and find them and they're okay, then we got 2 more backup to go meet your crew.
Then let's start with that.
All right, let's check these crates first.
Absolutely. So you cross the tracks, go over to the switch booth, and you pry open those crates. You find some water, and some ammunition for rifles and pistols. And you also find an old in the booth. You actually find an old, worn out 38. It's a little bit. Doesn't necessarily look like it was well cared for, but it'll get the job done.
Especially because you know how to make things better.
I
You
should
can
be able
have
to
that.
clean it up
Why
now.
don't you have that? I've got double pistols anyways.
All right. I'll take a 38. Never really shot before.
I can teach you.
All right.
Yeah, actually, Killshot Kate, go ahead and roll +2 to see if you can do a little tutorial mode with young JP.
I got 7 overall. Not great.
We're having a rough night on the rolling.
Always.
Yeah, so you show them the basics. You know, here's where the chamber is. You pull back the hammer. You know, all that stuff. Pretty simple and straightforward. But you don't want him to be too good. You're not trying to train a rival here.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of throw that in your waistband, I'm assuming, JP.
Yep, just put it away. Unless, can I roll my engineering to see if I can clean it up and make it look nice real quick, since we got some water right there?
Roll for it.
A total of 11.
Wow.
Nice.
So you take a moment, you look around the old switch house, and you realize there's a couple of things that, there's little tubes and all these little different screws and things that you might be able to use. You sit down with this revolver and, I was going to tell you, but you tell me, what do you make this, how fancy do you want this revolver right now?
I think even though, like, my background is that I haven't really shot ever before, I think that Tom and Pete still had guns at the house and they really took care of them. Like, that was their, like, keepsake from their days, and they, like, just cleaned it all the time. So I know how to clean it up real nice to make it look like a show pistol even, Like, this is how you make it look real good,
Absolutely do. You find a little bit of oil, some oil and a rag, and you shine that thing up real nice. And you make sure the barrel is clean. You clean out the chamber. You disassemble and reassemble this weapon with incredible precision and care, and fairly quickly as well. You also were able to fashion a scope out of some of the items.
I have a telescope on my items that I have.
Well, yeah. You make that work. You fashion your telescope onto this 38.
Nice. That's awesome. That's so cool. I might not have never shot before, but I know how to take care of a pistol. I know how to take care of them real good, like.
Okay, and so you start heading back towards the town. Do we have a name for this town yet?
I have not
We
come up
don't.
with one.
What do you think would be a good name for it?
Desert town.
Thank you for reminding me about desert.
Mhm.
Like, there's gotta be something like, how do you make Mirage work? Or something with, like, shade in it, you know what I mean? Even if it's not shady. You know how they get you in the desert like that? Like, welcome to Cool Down Village, And it's like, it's 115 fucking degrees. Palm Springs, and it's just
What
fucking
about-
the desert's
yeah.
asshole.
Yeah, no, we don't want to.
The Mirage Oasis.
Yeah. Where's in the Old West? Last water tilled?
Mirage.
Yeah, so you start heading towards Mirage Oasis, the little town where you all grew up, and they tolerate you there, Kate. The sheriff isn't going to come down on you unless you start trouble there today.
Thank you.
No
See, that's
trouble
what I
started.
thought.
All right. Well, I don't know what you're. I know
I
about
never
you.
really know
All
either.
I've really heard
It's
about
true.
you is that you walk into a place and punch a man in the mouth.
They say something.
Well, they know the reputation, but they don't have anything on you. They can't pin a crime on you today. And they know that you have enough influence in the town that if you wanted to start some trouble, that there's enough people listen to you where it would be a hassle for them.
All right. Not too bad.
You're a legend. You're an old West legend out here. You're Killshot Kate.
Which is so awesome for me walking to town. As we walk into town, I'm just like, look what Killshot Kate did to me, pointing at my bandage. He tried to get me down, but not today.
So it's taken an hour or two, but you make it all the way back into town, and that's what you're saying as you walk through the gates of the city, as it were. That's what you're saying. Look what Killshot Kate did to me. And
now we're a team.
you see all of the kids you went into the schoolhouse with. They come running up and look at your arm, and Kate, you see a couple of your gang in the town. They come walking up to you and giving greetings and asking you where you've been. Hey, Kate, how you been? What happened to you last night? We didn't see you go out.
Now you know I could say the same of you. Nobody was wondering where I was. It kind of makes me wonder if everybody knew where I was already.
Oh, shoot, I woke up, and me and a few of the girls, well, we noticed you were gone right away, and we went out looking for you, but couldn't find you nowhere in town or anywhere near our den.
Yeah, no, I wasn't anywhere near town or our den. Sitting on the middle of the railroad tracks, and I intend to find out why.
You intend to find out why.
Well, golly, ain't that just the way? Well, whatever I can do to help you, I'm sure just let me know. I'm gonna go over to the bar now. Y'all want to join me? This is, I guess I should have a name. This is your old friend, the Bistro Bandit. They're actually the gang's cook.
Oh, great, I love it. I don't think we're gonna join you right now. We've got other things to attend to. But it's nice to know that you're taking us by surprise as I was.
We'll go back.
Yeah, you just let me know, Kate. I got your back.
You got your back? We'll come back here after we go to the house. This will be the Rally Point Alpha.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good, JP.
So you're splitting up.
No, I'm saying after we check the house.
Yeah, we're going to check on.
If we don't find him there, or if we do find him there, we'll come back to here.
Either way,
A
things
or
are
B.
happening.
We know that they're coming to the bar.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're headed to Pete and Tom's house, your house.
Here we are.
Pete and
We're
Tom.
gonna check on Pete and Tom
Tell us
together.
about 'em.
Yeah, okay. You know, so JP, you and Tom and Pete live just outside of town, just a little ways around the mesa, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, around the mesa, just around the mesa bend.
All right.
Takes you a minute, but you head that direction.
Get there.
Yeah.
What happens? After we talk to Tom and Pete, then we'll go back to the bar and meet up with your buddy.
Well, the thing is
Here first.
as you exit the other side of town on the way to yours, you notice there's a plume of smoke rising not too far from. I mean, could that be where you live?
Is that your house?
God, I don't know. Let's go faster.
Yeah, you run. You both sprint. You make it all the way you're just around the corner from your house, and you see the smoke is definitely coming from there. As you see the front of the house, you see that the fire's out, but it's just smolders.
Something else I don't know, man. Are there any bodies? Can we see? Can we inspect the wreckage? The wreckage?
Killshot Kate is just gonna go up and put her hand on him, on his shoulder, and just be like, "It's okay. I know you're going through a lot. I can't imagine. I was able to be all of my losses."
So go ahead and roll. Roll courage for me,
Who, me?
JP. JP.
Do it.
Total of 3.
As you search the smolders, you see a trail of ash leading around into the bushes, and you see Tom lying there. He's got burns real bad. You notice there's still some breath in him, but he doesn't look to be conscious at the moment.
I don't think he's gonna make it. You have anything to make him feel any better? Try to wake him up. He's gonna be in a lot of pain, but we have to ask him a question. Do you have anything to give him? Roll him a cigarette. That's not gonna calm him.
Both of you can roll knowledge. We'll call this medicine.
9. I got 9. Not so bad.
Because it's a +0?
Yeah.
I got 7.
So, between the two of you, you're able to apply some cool cloths and clean up some of the wounds, and as you're kind of taking care of Tom. As you, boy.
Tom, what happened?
Oh, I didn't come. We always believe in you, boy.
Who did this to you, Tom? To us? Who did this to us?
Well, you know in your heart. Me and Pete, we always loved you. We would have done anything for the memory of your mother. She loved you so much, boy. She always wanted us to keep it a secret from you, but I gotta tell you now, boy. I don't know if I'll have another chance. Listen. Your mom, she had a buried treasure. A map. Buried just over yonder. And he points to an area they told you never to go. Like on the farm. It's like an area between a lot of the crops. It's a grave marked old bones. Yeah. boy, I don't want you to go doing nothing stupid. So I ain't gonna tell you done this. You get strong, boy. You get smart. We'll see you on the other side. And Tom fades.
You know about that treasure?
I haven't heard of it till now.
Courage is low, man. I'm not worried, but I feel like we should try to go find that treasure.
I would hate to step on a very fresh grave, but I definitely think we should go and find some treasure. Sounds like a good plan. An excellent way to remember our uncles.
It's only one of them. We never even found Pete.
Well, but we still can remember him.
Yeah. All right, fine. So I roll courage to see if we go to do it.
I'm just gonna let you go do it. Is what my thought was. You guys, Tom pointed to the grave of old bones that he told you never to go to, and said the map is buried there. Your mother left it for you.
We go to dig up old bones.
Excellent. There's a shovel right there by the grave, and you dig it up, and there's actually no. When you finally get to the coffin, inside there is no body. There are no bones. There are no remains. All that there is a small, ornate box, and it opens with a song, a little glockenspiel playing.
Nice.
This land is our land. And inside that box is a couple folded pieces of paper. One is an old yellowed map. On this map, as you unfold it, it's got a whole bunch of odd markings on it that aren't necessarily clear what they mean, but you get the idea that this is an area not too far from here, not unfamiliar to you. In the other piece of paper is a folded. The other folded piece of paper is a note. It says, "Dear J.P., I'm sorry I never got to watch you grow up. It surely would have been the joy of my life. I can't imagine how or why Tom told you to finally read this. I told him never to let you, but I know those old coots well enough to know they were going to break the rules one way or another."
I'm glad she wrote all this in the letter.
Well, JP, you were always going to be a special boy. I knew right from the get-go. You came jumping out of my womb like a little jumping bean. Giving you the name Jumpin J.P. Well, I'm just sorry that I wasn't there for you. Know that I had an interesting and sometimes not very pleasant life that I didn't want you to be a part of. Tom and Pete, they had gone through all that before and were always there for me. Well, I hate to tell you, son, but I'm likely no longer with us. I was on the run from the law, you see. That's why I had to hide this treasure. It's not too far from where you and Tom and Pete settled down. So I hope it'll help you get through the rest of your life and maybe pay for you to go get some studies and have a life that wasn't as hard as maybe mine was. Maybe you won't have to turn to crime to survive like I did. But I love you, boy. you be a good boy. Always listen to women and treat them well and respect them. And abide by the law. You don't have to like it though. And I guess you could break it every once in a while if you really need to. Love your mother. Boom shot Broomhilda.
I never knew her name before. Boom Shot Broomhilda.
Mother
I wonder-
sounds like a righteous old broad.
I wonder if she
I
went
could say so
by
myself.
BB, and then I was JP, because we just have letter names, you know, BB and JP. We'd have been quite a pair. She also was quite a writer. I almost wish she had written more books, just so I could encapsulate her being as a... She's so conversational in the way that she writes letters. Stop crying! Stop it! What's the matter with you? I'm the one who just lost my mother that's been dead for a while. Damn wild desert coyotes crying in our ears. I'm trying to mourn I don't even see a body. I just found out her name's Boomshot. You know my mother, Boomshot, Killshot? Is that some sort of shot sisters?
I'm not that old.
I don't know how old you are. I'm not good at reading stuff. I went with two old men that got burned in the fire.
Also, I lived on the other side of town.
All right. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. So I'm okay. So she said I should respect the law, but also, well, she said follow it, but don't let it be too much. And sometimes maybe you could break it. And she was on the run from the law, but wants me to try to uphold some sort of moral compass. I feel, again, her letter was very confusing. I feel like she must have been going through so much when she wrote that to me. I feel like to honor her spirit, we should
Go for the treasure.
but in a way that doesn't disrupt the peace.
Right.
So, even though they did burn down my house and my uncle's,
Yeah.
there's only ashes here, man. They had nice guns and shit. That means they took our stuff. All right, so
I'm
we gotta
not
be
opposed to lighting things on fire in response. You know what I'm saying?
okay. I was gonna say, like, that's a bad. If your backstory is you're a pyro, like, it makes you
No.
seem
I'm just
way
saying,
more
like,
fucking guilty. Like, this buddy comedy just went from like, I found out the puzzle.
not.
You killed my
I'm
family.
just saying, I will happily. Let's do that.
You're
so we
saying
can go on
return
treasure.
the fire
I want to
favor.
do the treasure. I really want to go find the treasure.
All right. I mean, we have the map again. All right.
I'm here for you.
You want to start
I'm
over?
sorry
Wipe
you're
it
going
clean.
through this.
We'll wipe it clean. We start again. This is a new start. Here we go. It's all. You don't talk about
Were you
burning
just
people
thinking
down.
About wiping it clean again.
Yeah. Okay. So we have the map. It looks like it might be around here, but I don't know what half these symbols are. You ever seen a map like this before?
I probably haven't seen a map like this. I wonder if I could look at perception and figure it out by myself.
Yes.
Great. I think I get +1 on perception. Oh crap! I only have a total of 3.
Well, you don't know what it
It's
says
not
either.
no, I have no idea what it says. I can't even guess.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll engineering, Nick. JP.
All right. Come on, baby. Total of 9.
Okay, so it takes you a while. But between the two of you, you kind of are able to start understanding the map. But the real breakthrough is when you put it next to the letter from your mom. You notice there is a code inside the letter that corresponds to the way that she to the map.
That's
These
why
are-
they're like that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Boomshot Hilda's the fucking Zodiac.
Totally.
All right.
I mean, no, but yes.
So a lot of the symbols that you don't recognize are stars.
Boom.
So you're able to determine that after a couple of hours, you're able to determine that this is it's essentially like not in town, but it's not too far from where you started out this adventure by the train tracks.
Okay.
So then we should probably go back to the lookout.
Yeah, and it is getting into the evening now.
Let's stop at the bar first.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Do you trust whoever that was that you met earlier? I don't know their name. They didn't introduce themselves, but you seem very keen with
No,
them.
I wrote their name down.
You know their name.
Just give me
I
a
don't.
second. Yeah, the Bistro Bandit. He's
Thanks
a
for-
chef.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he's your chef.
No, I'm just letting you know.
So is this
that
a Long
it's,
John Silver situation? Like, is he your
I
chef?
mean,
But he's also
No,
fucking
he
Shank
seems
Jim
like
Jim
he
Jimmy
was
Jim Jim?
pretty confused about it, and I do seem to remember him being with a couple of ladies, which is, like, I think we can all admit, a little bit disorienting, and you're not quite sure about other people's lives when you're hanging out with two
You're saying
attractive women.
he was with two women, and so he.
Yes, that is what I'm saying, and so that is why he said he didn't know what happened to me.
Yeah, you get tricky when you get
You
all
know?
in there. I mean, I only imagine.
No, let's go hang out with him though. I'm down.
You think that's safe? Then we should go there.
Especially if he's been drinking since I've talked to him, then I think that we'll be able to get a more honest tale out of him anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's
So
go.
you head back to town.
Yeah.
You make pretty good time, and as you enter the bar, you're greeted by your old friend, the Bistro Bandit, and a couple other members of your gang. There's a few townsfolk in there as well. Everyone's having whiskeys, playing card games, having a good old time.
You got to take the lead in here. I don't know these
Yeah.
guys.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and just stride right up to my people and say what's up, but kind of be reserved, you know? Like, I think Kate goes up and is greets them, but is not very welcoming. Hey, what's up? How's it going, everybody? You know, like, who knows what happened to me last night? Maybe Bistro Bandit's got a big mouth, or maybe somebody knows something.
Oh, what? Yeah, we want to find out what happened to you, Kate. We care very much for you. You're our friend. You save our asses on the weekly. I mean, what would we do without you, friend?
This guy's his friend.
I'm feeling a little bit like I don't understand why, if you were all my friends, why nobody had my back. I don't know how I got totally ghost absorbed in the middle of our camp. I don't understand how I got transported without anybody realizing that I was even gone. That leads me to have some discontent with the level of loyalty in my gang. Is anybody else gone missing since I disappeared last night?
No, but it would make sense why someone would try and get rid of you. You're so powerful. And tell you what, why don't we head back there right now and try and get to the bottom of this?
You down to go for a ride, JP? How are you on horseback?
I ride horses all the time around the farm. But the only horse we have is real old. He kind of goes slow. But I think about leaping over ditches and dens and all kinds of sweet things.
I'm sure we can find some kind of a ride for you.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So you exit the bar. Your couple of friends, the Bistro Bandit, and old Philly, and old Jephrodite. They all get, you all get on horses. They have a couple extra just because maybe they steal them. Who knows? Doesn't matter. You all get on horses. You head over to your bandit camp, which is a little bit outside of town, the opposite direction of JP's house.
Okay.
And it's actually, do you want to describe your cave, or do you want me to? Oh, I said cave. Your hideout.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Do you want to describe the den?
I think you should. If you have an idea, I love that.
Okay. Yeah. So, you actually blindfold JP so that he can't find it. You're cool now, but you don't trust him like that yet. So you blind JP, the bandana, put it over his eyes. You ride into a couple of winding canyons, and eventually end up at this little opening that has this small cave mouth, and it would just fit a horse and a rider. You all kind of enter single file. There's a little place for you to, a little stable for you to put your horses up. And this short cave mouth opens up into this grand revealing in the rock, or what's the, like a big room in the cave.
Caverns?
Yeah, like a big open cavern. There's like all these little there's levels built into the rock, so that there's almost like this small village here. You know, there's probably 10, 15 little houses, all with their own little welcome mats and mailboxes and all that good stuff. There's in the center, there is a fire, a big campfire, a bunch of people sitting around it, some cooking, some telling stories, everyone's carousing, and there's, as you enter, there's the person watching by the door, your Century Sally.
Sally? A little bit.
Century Sally, yeah. She's sitting there by the door with her rifle and kind of tips her hat and winks at you.
Go ahead and definitely recognize Century Sally. Thank her for her service, but also in a nonverbal, like, very, I got things to do way, you know?
Oh, definitely.
I don't doubt Century Sally.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a fault of mine, and we'll see later, but, like, I don't doubt Century Sally right now.
No, good call, yeah. So I assume you take the blindfold off of JP at this point.
Yeah. You can see where we are.
Look
We're
at this.
already here.
These caverns are so fast. It's exactly what I thought it would be like in all my wildest dreams. Look at all these people. Why, that is Train Post Pete. I know about him. He was in the famous Buffalo ride. And look at him over there. That's Yellowneck Larry. But he doesn't like to be called Yellowneck, so I shouldn't have shouted that in the caves. I mean, that's Larry. He don't like to be called Yellowneck because he's afraid one time. But I relate to him. I also get afraid about things.
Cool, that's probably enough, Jumpin J.P.
Okay,
Thank
no more
you so
talking
much.
about.
I'm really
I'm
glad
not
you're here.
used to being around these, all these famous.
So I want to clear the air with everybody gathered here that I'm pretty sure at some level played against last night. I fell asleep in the hideout and was kidnapped thereupon and tied next to this person on the train.
Everyone gasping.
Is everyone gasping? Or can I see people who maybe don't seem as surprised?
Keen-eyed.
Absolutely fucking roll for it.
Okay. Do I add anything? Perception,
This is your
maybe?
perception, yeah.
Great. So then I would get 11 total.
Ooh. So after everyone, okay, so you're as you're making this speech, you're watching the eyes of everyone around the fire. But And you notice when you say that you were played against, you notice some of them kind of like avert their eyes. But most of them are looking all in the same direction. On the second level of your hideout, there's a glow from a cigarette butt coming from the dark. And you can see the shadowy visage of one of the people who've been complaining quite a bit about you lately. Rebel Rita.
Great, so I'd like to call Rebel Rita down to the floor.
Can you grab a letter, please?
Rebel Rita hears you, you call her down. She grabs a hold of a rope and puts her boot in one of the loops tied into the end of it, and it propels her down to the ground.
Hey, you guys have pulley systems and shit?
Yeah,
in
we
it too?
do.
Fuck.
She's got her rifle on her shoulder. She's chewing on her big ol' stogie. Her cap covering her eyes. And you see her walking up slowly in her slicker and her boots. Every step with a little jingle of the spurs. What you want with me, boss?
Boss.
You think I had something to do with it? I would never betray you.
Yeah, and how do I know that? You got something to say, I'd like you to say it to my face. I don't think I've ever been shy of facing things toe to toe, Rita.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I have been getting I have had a couple conversations with, I don't know, some people high up. They got real problems with you. They say, you know, some of the criminalizing that we be doing, well, they let it slide. If some of the other criminalizing that you like to do, we have to stop. So, you know, I ain't done nothing to you yet, but I've thought about it. If I'm going to be honest with you, I've thought about doing a mutiny or two, the way you talk to all of us here. I know a few others that don't really like the way that you be barking orders at us and such. Now, I appreciate you. I know you do a whole lot here. I ain't gonna be barked at no more.
That is a valid input, but I do wish that everyone would take into consideration the fact that I have to run the whole outfit. I have to make sure that everybody stays in line. And if anybody's got things to say, I welcome them to bring it to me. But I would rather it come to my face than have me wake up tied to a, no offense, simpleton on a railroad tie.
Tom and y'all know them? Tom?
Oh. Everyone roll perception. So Nick, you don't get an addition on this. It's just a straight roll.
7.
You know what? Well, it doesn't matter.
And I got 4.
Damn. So, yeah, I guess, Kate, you don't necessarily see it. But JP, you get the feeling that somebody's watching you. Before you have a chance to act, you hear gunshots ring out. Both of you roll, actually, Kate, roll kill shot.
Okay.
JP, roll courage.
Right. I got 9 on Killshot.
That's 6.
It's 1.
No.
Yeah.
So, just as the shots ring out, Kate, you dodge and you roll forward. You roll to the side, and like lightning, you shoot at a shadowy figure moving through the upper levels of your hideout, and they fall dead. The other shot that rang out, Jack, it hit you in the leg.
Oh.
So take 1 HP.
I didn't jump that time.
Yeah.
Your camp is all startled. A couple of them scatter. Rebel Rita is looking up and has her rifle ready. A couple other people are kind of looking through the upper levels, and doesn't seem to be any movement. Do you want to go investigate the body that fell?
Yes.
Perfect. So you use the rope and pulley system to head up to the second level. JPD. Oh, you got shot.
Can I roll engineering with stuff they have in there to try to take care of the wound?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
12 total.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, you use the fire to cauterize the wound, and with a couple other, they have a lot of fairly advanced medicine and stuff like that. Killshot Kate knows how to take care of her people. And you bandage that wound really well. Incredible work. Even you have a little bit of ointment that they rub on the wound and actually kind of relieve some of the pain, so you can still walk on it and all.
All right.
So as you approach the body, how do you? Are you going through pockets, or?
I mean,
I'm assuming you got a lantern and you're kind of
First,
checking out the identity.
if I can identify who it is, yes, definitely going through pockets and seeing what they have on their person.
As you approach the body, you can see the long coat and the bowler, big bushy mustache of Deputy Dan Danger.
Alliteration aside,
I love
I
it.
think I'll take my chances.
He's dead cold. Killshot Kate took him right out.
You might say Deputy Dan Danger is deceased.
Dead as a doornail.
Ooh!
Alright, get on him.
Yeah, so, sorry, did I already make you roll for perception or any of the other
Can.
going through his pocket stuff?
I got 8.
Ooh. So you find, a wanted poster, that has your, mugshot on it. I guess if you had a wanted it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's got a wanted poster for you, but it's not from, the town. It's from the state. The staties are looking for you. And, it's got a little bit of handwriting on there, but it looks like a lot of it's been smudged away. You can still read, at the bottom, you can still read at the bottom of it, Governor Gerald.
Goes right to the top.
the other words you can pick out are kill, destroy, train tracks.
Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and safely assume that Deputy Dan Danger was in charge of the train tracks debacle. I think it's a safe assessment to say that we all need to lay low. Me most of all. But even like everybody else, we should try and take it easy on the robberies. And I also think that we have a bit of a lead with Jumpin J.P. over here. If you're feeling up to it with your leg wound.
You're gonna tell everybody about it?
I mean, we don't have to tell everybody, but I do think that
do you have a tracker in here?
We don't have to tell everybody right now, but maybe we could look and see if people would be interested in a select number of people might be interested in accompanying us.
That's what I'm saying. Do you know like a track? Like who can help us? You know someone that's like a good map reader and someone who's also like a good.
I've got a chef.
Fuck.
I think Joe Bandit is a very, very trustworthy young fella.
We shouldn't trust Yellowneck Larry.
Probably not Yellowneck. You know, you can't call him that.
He goes by Ludicrous Larry when you don't know background.
So we should be careful about people who are too explosive.
Okay. I don't remember the other guy's name I said that I liked.
Billy and Jephrodite.
Yeah, you're approached by Jephrodite, who is your tracker.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we should tell him. We should be like, oh, we got a plan to go find this.
You can talk to him too.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. All right, so Jeff, I don't know his name.
You're my
How about-
person.
Oh.
We're talking together as a person. We got tied together on railroad ties.
Hello, fellow thief maker. And numero un. My name is Jumpin J.P. What's your name?
Hey, I'm Jephrodite.
Aphrodite, nice to meet you. We seem to have come across a map with some special symbols on it. We need someone to help us figure out how to get to the treasure.
Treasure? Oh, real? That sounds like a real hoot. Yeah, I'll take a look at that old map there.
We have somewhere private to do it in your cave house.
Yeah, my quarters.
Nice.
I've got quarters in the cave.
Cave quarters.
And we're gonna go to that place.
Nice. Go to the cave quarters.
Yeah.
And
It's
we
like
show 'em
it's
the
like
map.
its own separate alcove
Yeah.
that's like separated, but also, you know what I mean?
I'm with
It's
you.
Just there's no out. There's no other way out. There's only the one way. So you can keep it pretty close and tight.
Perfect.
Awesome. So yeah, you go to your place. You check out this map. Jephrodite says, "Yeah, well, yeah, I definitely can help y'all get there. That's not too far away. Y'all trying to do a little treasure hunt? That sounds like fun."
Who else can we trust to take with us? KK?
Well, there's always old Colonel Mustard. Retired all those years ago, but still good on the trail. There's Farty McGee. You know, I know that the namesake is. We all know what he does on the trail, but smart, good at foraging, knows the lay of the land, and great with the rifle.
It's true.
There's also Chestnut Charlie, another excellent marksman. Great to have along. Also great company. Chestnut Charlie's got the good bedtime stories.
Sounds like a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Farty McGee, Chestnut Charlie, and
Farty.
Old Colonel Mustard. OCM.
Yeah.
And what's the tracker name?
Jeffrodite.
Jeffrodite.
Yeah, the Jeffrodite the tracker.
Yeah. So it's. Are you resting tonight? Are you heading out on the trail right now?
No, I think we should rest. Try and take some time to plan, you know?
Take shifts.
Yeah.
Make sure we don't end up on the railroad track again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a mystery how anybody got in your hideout without being noticed and all that stuff, and especially not lawmen. So that's its own mystery. You definitely want to keep somebody on guard, I guess, tonight.
Just take shifts, get some rest.
Yep. I'll stay on guard.
I think that if you're going to do a Willow character, then you definitely need to be thinking about role-playing your theme and role-playing your aesthetic.
It actually talks a little bit about like how the Nelwyns, or Willow specifically, has some inherent magic.
I think it might be fun if his character was like this, maybe not self-important. He thinks he's better than he is. We find him in a struggle to get, to really know himself.
He is the everyman. They do a really good job of that because they give him plenty of foils and characters to bounce off with in his community.
It paints such a clear picture in very little words. It's really smart writing because it's showing us, not telling us what and why we're doing what we're doing.
This is just the beginning.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna try another trick that I do often. This is such a weird head. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Like, I feel like if it's not already, should be like the official art form of Burning Man.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. Oh my goodness.
Alright, like I said, now I'm gonna start going in with darker colors.
I didn't think about this being so fluffy. That there'd be so many little shapes I gotta get in there. Right, I have to draw a color. I do not care. Odd mixes of color. Oh geez, I got sidetracked. I had a story. Kinda hot mess. In the best way. What makes it foreshortened and all that. But then he boots the dank shit. I grew up being Hudson Dork. I'm an actor, musician, an artist. You're a chaos goblin that will be drawing. I am locked out of any other layer. And I am here for a live stream. Thank you for joining. You wake up early in the morning, ready for an adventure. Jeffrodite has told the rest of the group to be prepared for an early departure, and they're all standing around the wagon, and it's ready to go.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
So, music swells as you exit your cavern home, and you, led by Jeffrodite, reading the map and kind of pointing in the directions. Little montage, and you're getting further away from home, and everything seems to be going well. Old Farty McGee's making everybody laugh with his farts. And yeah.
Also, we're 7 because we have the chef.
Oh, the chef is with us.
Oh,
too?
you brought the chef along.
Oh yeah, Bistro Bandit. Yeah. Bistro Bandit's with us for sure.
Oh yeah, the Bistro Bandit will help you make your road meals. Yeah, smart.
I'm terrible at cooking.
I know you are. We've discussed.
Okay. So as you you have traveled for all through the morning into the afternoon, and you're approaching the area around the mountains. It's several miles from home. It's not an area either of you are super familiar with, but definitely a place that Kate, you more than likely would have been. Less likely for you, JP, but you know the area well enough to not feel like you're completely separate from the kind of ecosystem you grew up in. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You are you are watching Jeffrodite. He's studying the map and he's kind of looking up at the star or the sky. See, the thing is it's kind of hard to read this map during the day because it's all based in the stars. I know we're in the general area where we need to be at, but issue is, to be real precise with our measurements, we're gonna have to wait till nightfall.
Alright, then we should just hold up here, I suppose. Can I try to see if someone can teach me how to shoot good? We got two good marksmen with us. Farty
Chestnut
McGee or
Charlie.
Chestnut Charlie.
Yeah. You spent an afternoon with Chestnut Charlie and Farty McGee, and Chestnut Charlie gives you a few tips on, things like, squeeze the trigger, don't pull the trigger. Try and keep your body still and breathe through the shot. Here's how you want to hold it, and this is what your grip should be like. You don't want to hold it too tight, but you don't want to drop it when it fires. You guys spend the most of the afternoon getting you real familiar with your new 38. They show you that you can actually use your your sight more effectively on a rifle, but it does look really cool on the revolver. In fact, go ahead and roll charisma for me.
Five.
So Chestnut Charlie takes your revolver and he kind of looks over it and he's like, yeah, this looks really good, man. Maybe we'll trade for my. Opens the chamber. Oh no, I don't think we'll trade for anything. Here, you can have this back now.
Oh no.
It's fine. It's fine. You did a good job refurbishing the weapon, but you could tell how old it is when you take a real good look at it. As you kind of are hanging out, waiting for the stars to come out, you see a herd of wild horses kind of dancing there, or not dancing, running through around the area you're in, kind of grazing here and there, chasing each other back and forth, having a good old time.
Mm.
And and as you're you guys sit down, you've made camp at this point. You've unpacked a few belongings, and you're kind of just waiting, eating some food, having some jerky and all that. Kate, was there anything you wanted to do during the day?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like, I'm definitely interested in catching some horses, but I don't know that I would be able to catch enough for everybody.
We also have horses because we're in a wagon pool already.
I guess that's true. I don't think more horses are useful.
Well, roll perception for me, Kate.
Okay. I got 3.
Yeah, they're all regular horses. There's nothing special about them.
Oh God. It's the worst.
So yeah, it's
I know there aren't though. I know they aren't.
a few hours pass, and you're laughing and scratching, trying to pass the time. But night falls, and as you're packing the wagon back up, getting ready to go, I'm gonna have JP roll charisma, Kate roll perception.
All right.
Come on, baby. 7.
I also got 7.
Damn it. I knew you were gonna.
You're approached by a snake. It slithers up to as you two are kind of standing next to each other, making plans for your next move. It slithers up right in between both of you, and rears up, but it doesn't look like it's about to attack.
All right.
What do you do?
Just snake doesn't look aggressive.
Yeah, I would try to just knock it away if it didn't look aggressive.
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. Maybe it's part of the map. You get here and then the thing's like,
Yeah.
give it space, can we follow it? You stand up and be like,
All you had to say was the map. All you had to say was the map. You look at the map. Or rather, Jeopardy says, "Hey, you better look at this." Oh wait, that was the Bistro Bill or Bistro whatever, Bistro Bandit's voice.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Jeopardy was more like down here.
Yes, he was.
Hey, check this out. And Jeopardy hands you the map, and it's got this blue bioluminescent glow coming off of it. And as it comes down off of the top of the wagon down to your hands, you two still on the ground, the snake is following it with its eyes. And it kind of hisses, but it sounds like excitedly hissing, like yeah.
so we can follow it though. It's going in a certain direction now. It's just reacting to the map.
Yeah.
It's reacting to the map.
Yeah, it's watching it.
What do you do?
I think Kate would just not react as much as possible, so it would be able to watch what like the outcome would be, like if you could lay out a paper map in front of it.
Yeah, like can we lay it on the ground?
That,
Yeah, lay the map on the ground.
You lay the map on the ground, and the snake slithers over to the map, and it coils into itself, and becomes part of the map.
Nice.
And now, you can see that the snake is Jeopardy comes down off of the wagon. He says, "Look at that there! The snake is pointing to our next point on the map. It's following the star guide, so now we know exactly where we're going." It's awful weird how this piece of paper has moving things on it. This must be the work of some kind of witch.
So now, does the map say new stuff now?
Yeah. It says follow the it's your mother's handwriting. In fact, it's your mother's handwriting. It says follow the snake, JP.
But the snake is on the map, so we follow where the snake is pointing to. So we follow snake's star directional coordinates.
Yeah. Whatever we're spot at, we go the opposite direction. You know? Like if we're at the butt, we go towards the head.
Okay, yeah. We just follow the snake's map. Snake band. Yeah, we follow snake map. And then we get
like we're going through it's pooper outways.
Mm-hmm.
Out up the back ways to the mouth opener.
We're gonna follow JP and see what happens.
Alright, so then we follow the snake map directions.
Yeah, this reduces the time it takes you to find the map significant, or to get where you're going significantly. Everything is simplified. You make your way through this these foothills, these dunes, essentially leading up to this big mountain in front of you. And as you do, you are going up and down these dunes. You're having a hard time navigating. It's dark, but you know exactly which direction you're going, right? You know where you need to go. And you find over one of the dunes, there's this odd. Well, you have to get closer to it. You see a collection of these stones. They appear to be squared off. Some very technical stonework.
I have one of them! I have one! I have one of those stones. In my pack at the beginning of the game, we decided I have an unidentified metal ore. I was given to me by Tom and Pete. I don't know what it's for, but I have one of those rocks.
So you approach this. These squared off rocks that are curious, and you've never seen much like it. But as you get closer and closer, your lanterns start to illuminate higher and higher, and you see that it's in the shape of this great pyramid. These tiers of stones making a path upwards. The snake is pointing you in the direction up this pyramid.
Follow it.
Oh yeah, we follow it. I have one of those rocks.
Yeah, you pull that rock out of your pack, right? And it starts to rumble in your hand. Every step, it rumbles a little more vigorously. When you get to the top, it feels like it's trying to... You're having to grip it with both hands to not have it pull straight out of your hands. It's and finally, it can't be held back any longer, and it flies out of your hands into the center of this the top of this pyramid, and it kind of hovers there, spinning on its own axis. Before finally settling into the ground, and you see a small relief just big enough for it, and it fits right in there like a puzzle piece, with the scraping of metal on stone. You can hear as it sinks into position with a satisfying thud. A whole new scraping begins, of rock on rock this time, and you feel yourself being lowered down and down further into this pyramid. Did anyone come up there with you? It's JP and Kate. Did anyone come with you?
I mean, if we didn't bring Farty McGee with us, what are we even doing?
Yeah, you bring Farty McGee with you. Farty McGee says,
Farty McGee, is that all we can bring? It's just no. We also bring Bistro Bandit.
alright, you bring the Bistro Bandit with you as well. Hey, glad to be here. This is real weird, though.
Yeah, they're shocked by the stone. They're like, this is some shit. And I'm like, you guys, I knew I had it.
Yeah, this is some shit.
And we get lowered down, and I'm like, and if only Chester,
Chestnut Charlie.
oh, Chichi Boy McGee, then, I can't remember the other guy's name. Jared Carver
Jeopardy.
could see this now.
Alright, they're all with you. I haven't thought of a voice for Chestnut Charlie, though. Leave me alone. Chestnut Charlie doesn't talk.
He's a mute!
He's a mute.
That's right, he's a mute.
Hey, he knows stories!
That's why he's such a good marksman, because he's a mute. You know, he doesn't speak.
Yeah, he does not categories,
Great.
the gesture game. Charades, yeah. He does charades for story time. That's his vibe.
Dude. The cool marksman. He just like acts stuff out.
Like black.
He's silent but deadly.
Oh, you would think that was Farty McGee, but no, he comes at it loud and proud. Alright, so
Oh, well, see, they're a duo that goes by silent but deadly.
Obviously.
That's another adventure for another time, though.
I want to act that one so bad.
Farty McGee.
And
Chestnut Charlie.
fuck yeah,
Heck
on the
yes.
Wild West.
Heck yes.
And it's just a dude farting the whole time, and the other guy can't talk at all. He's just like, what the fuck? Farty McGee's like, I'm sorry, man. You're not gonna talk to me. All I can do is fart. All these beans.
I'm writing this down.
That's hilarious.
We should be playing that game, I guess. I'm sorry. I feel like I've failed you.
Not even. We had to play this game to come up with Farty McGee
Hell
and
yeah,
Chestnut Charlie.
exactly. And
It wouldn't have happened.
We're just
unless
building
we
a world
played.
that we could
Yeah.
just keep coming back to. All those bandits.
It's Westworld, but like so silly.
Hell yes.
Okay. So you and your trusty gang of buds and bandits have made it all the way to the ground floor of the pyramid. It stretches out all around you. You can see passageways going this way and that all over the place, but the snake is pointing you north.
We should keep following the snake.
Yep,
Hasn't done a song
agreed.
yet. My mom's the one who gave us the letter in the first place.
Agreed.
Boom Shop Roomhilda. Doesn't seem like a liar to me.
Yes. So you make your way north through this pyramid, following the snake's trail, and before long, after winding through a couple of corridors, you find yourself at the edge of a precipice. I would like you to roll charisma and teamwork respectively.
Uh, 11.
I got 7 for teamwork.
Hey! No, that's great. Okay, so, JP You yeah, JP, you Kate starts barking at orders at you, and you are able to kind of turn it around on her, and not necessarily like argue or fight with her, but you take that energy and you turn it into powerful motivation for all of you. You take her kind of gruff exterior barking and turn it into music for you and the rest of everybody else in the group. And together you quickly erect a little bridge that takes you over this precipice and onto another ledge beyond. Everyone making it over without a hitch. And Barty McGee says, but Bistro Bill says, oh, that's just Barty's way of saying that y'all make a pretty excellent team. Boss, I know everyone tends to say that you're a little too gruff, a little too demanding sometimes, but JP was all around all the time. You could bark as much as you want. 'Cause he makes us understand that you're just trying to properly motivate us, and he helps kind of like soften the blow, as it were.
Look it, can we sidebar for a second? If this is how you're going to talk to us as human beings, Weston, what do I have to do to hire you as some sort of marriage counselor at this point? Because you just described our life to a T in such a way that I think we're not going to have another fight for the next 6.5 months. Because I'm just going to be like, remember the time Barty McGee said that I could be the one that helps us? And Alexis going to be like, just do it better! And I'm going to be like, yeah, that's right. And me and the old mute up here, we're going to clean up the area now. You got it. Look at us work together.
Oh my goodness.
I love you both. It's not too much further. When you find a big red X on the ground, and the snake, the little snake icon on your map is pulsing with blue fluorescent light. Bioluminescent, sorry.
Dig.
I feel like, is it a spot where we dig or do we mine? What are we doing?
If
How are
it's
we getting
pulsing,
on the X?
can we, before we do anything else, can we see if we lay the map down, does the snake come off the map now and show us the exact spot to go? We trust
Perception and engineering.
That's you.
Your perception.
Okay.
Oh, 7.
I got 8.
All right, so you're bumbling around in the dark a little bit. The lanterns are maybe a little lower than they need to be, but it takes you a little longer. But after kind of examining the area around this big red X and trying to dig into the dirt, which is a little too hard, and you can't really make very much progress. It would take you all night, if not longer. You start to see, one of you notices on the wall, there's a little slot that seems just big enough for something. Yeah.
Map? Does the map go in there? Do we put the map in your Ox machine?
There you go. You fold the map up as you had found it, and you slide it in the slot, and the red X, the whole floor kind of just starts. You hear a rumbling underneath you, and when these big bricks kind of slide apart, and from below them, this grand chest rises up from the ground. It's beautifully gilded with gold and silver. There doesn't appear to be a lock on it, and yeah. What do you do?
Yeah, JP, how much does your mom love you? Because, like, I've found treasures that you try to get them, and then you die because of the traps. Like, does your mom actually love you, or is she like, ah ha ha, silly JP, I'm gonna trick you?
I mean, I
You
feel like
know?
she left me with Tom and Pete, and I'm not sure how they all know each other still to this day, based on some odd letter writing and his final words to me. But they took care of me, and they let me believe in things, and they taught me how to take care of stuff. And then she left this for me, obviously, to find it. And the magic stone
All right,
that she gave to them to
let's
give to
open
me.
it then.
Seems like she gave me all the pieces. It would be kind of fucked up to
does.
give me all the pieces just for it to open
It
up into a
does.
curse.
Did we ever decode her letter?
The letter helped decode the map. They comboed.
Then let's open it.
Who do we? Okay, yeah. I should open it. It should be me, huh?
I mean,
I have to roll
it's your
courage, don't I?
present,
All right,
yeah.
roll courage to see if I open it. Courage is the thing that I'm weak at. That feels like the arc of the story.
You don't need anything. You approach the chest, and you're able to lift it with no effort.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
I mean, it's pretty weighty, but other than that,
I
there's
got
some
it.
physical effort. In the chest, you see a couple of pouches. You see old federal bills, union bills, all printed up and stacked and bound together, thousands and thousands of dollars worth. You also see a couple of very ornate, well-loved weapons that seem to be fairly well preserved, even if they've been underground for a while, locked in this airtight chest. One is a shotgun, and it's got engraved on it Broomhilda's boomstick. And a big Bowie knife, with a beautiful sheath, with your it's got an emblem on the front of it, and it's your mom's face. She's got this wonderful bouffant kind of hairdo going. She's got a big old smile on her face. Her, and it's Boomshot Broomhilda in a circle around the face. Let's see. You also you find some old photos of your mom and Tom and Pete, holding weapons and looking real tough for the camera. There's one of them. There's a couple of old wanted posters for all of them. There's a photo of them on a boat with a weird little kid with a straw hat.
Straw hat kid.
And yeah, I don't know. I think is there anything else you think you would find in there?
So many good things.
Yeah, you.
There's like a
Yeah.
dual heart locket that has my Broomhilda in the middle and Tom on one side and Pete on the other. And they were like,
They were a polycule.
Huh.
Yeah, you find out that there's like enough information in there to indicate that they were once a gang together and that they were romantically entangled to each other. Pete and Tom were gay, or bi, I guess.
I
But
didn't know whose son I was. I was
They
just,
didn't know it was like a cocktail, you know.
yeah, just a whole mixture.
didn't-
a real cocktail. Your mom's favorite kind of cocktail.
I'm like, I'm
Cocks.
been my dad's the whole time and I didn't even know it. I had 2 dads and 1 mom. Look at me. No wonder I'm so special. I can make so many good things. I take all the pictures and I just put them in my pockets. And then I take out the Bowie knife and I look at my mother and I would like give her a kiss because I've never seen her before. Maybe I have. I now remember what she looks like. And it takes me back to that Straw Hat Kid day. I'm like, oh man, I remember the bandits. And they were together. And look at this. I remember she used to cut old rabbits. Yeah, she cut off a rabbit's foot with the knife, and that's the rabbit foot that I have in my inventory. Fuck! I remember it! And then so I'm like, fucking knife is mine. And I was like, put it on my thing, on my belt. And then I'm like, pick up the shotgun. And I'm like, look at it and aim down the sights after all the stuff I learned during the day with Barty McGee. Chestnut Charlie. I'm like, wheel around, check out the sights, and then look down the barrels, make sure it's nice and clean, and then I turn and I hand it to Killshot Kate, and I'm like, never would have got here if it wasn't for you. I think that you should have this fine shotgun. And I give it to her. And then I spread the money out amongst all of the crew that took it with us. And then...
Yeah! I love it. Sorry, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
And then I take... What do I leave there? That's part of the... And then I take the letter that she wrote me. And I wrap up the rabbit's foot that she cut off with the Bowie knife, and I wrap it up in the letter, and I put it back into the treasure chest with the map and everything, even though the map leads right to that spot, and then I just put that back in the treasure chest, and I put the treasure chest back into the thing that opened up, and it lowers back down to the ground.
That's awesome. Okay. When you
burial for my mother.
Perfect. Definitely. But as soon as you distribute all of the money to everyone in the group, you hear kind of this just this poof. And you turn towards the chest and you see rising from this cloud of smoke that is just apparated before you is this large purple mist in the shape of a person. And you see they have they're kind of just floating there in the air, and they look down at you. J.P., you have awakened me. Your mother's Jinn. How may I serve you?
Oh. Is it a 3 wishes situation, or is it just a free reign, free for all?
Oh, I'm just kind of, I like to help her out in the house. I'll do dishes. I can, clean your weapons. I can fly, so that sometimes comes in handy.
Yeah, can you transport us back to our wagon at the base of this pyramid?
Consider it done. And they kind of blink and nod their head, and you're all transported right back to where you started at the beginning.
That was a pretty exciting adventure. Everybody got their stuff. Everyone, should we head back to the den? Can I join the crew? Am I part of the team?
I think we can figure out you joining the crew. You seem to be very well worth it, especially if the gin is still in your favor.
So, you see the sun rising in the sky. You look towards, out onto the horizon. You see the dunes lying before you. You know the town's just not too far out. The whole world is your oyster.
Should we head back, or should we take this crew on and find us some more treasure? We can use the gin to find anything we want. He can lead us on the trail for something new and exciting.
I'm always down for more treasure.
What about you, Farty McGee and Chestnut Charlie? A nod and a toot. How about you, Bistro Bandit?
Yeah.
The one I can never remember your name, Farrad Archley.
It's Jeffrey Daddy, damn it!
Aphrodite!
Why do I want to call him Pharaoh every
I
time?
don't know.
Jeffrey, you ready to track with us? Who's the seventh one?
Old Colonel Mustard.
Damn, we never even talked to him. He was just chilling the whole time. Oh, Colonel Mustard, you know what I like about you? You're not a naysayer. You're not a yes man. You're just here. Down for the set.
Feeling neglected.
I say we head for the horizon. Get our wagons going. I'll even get us a couple more strong horses because I saw you watching those horses yesterday. I'll get us a couple of magic horses for my gin buddy.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, okay.
You guys, you make a glorious return. Several hours of travel, but you make a glorious return back to Killshot Kate's camp. You're greeted by cheers and whistles. Ah, the return! Ah! And even old Rebel Rita's like begrudgingly like, y'all done good. Pretty impressive stuff right there. Wish I could have come with you. Maybe I'll be a little more understanding next time of what you're going through.
Should.
And just then, oh, sorry, what?
Nothing. I said, because I'm here now. I'm in the crew. I'm the boss.
And just then, Century Sarah, out of breath, disheveled looking like she must have fallen down a whole mountain, dirt covering her clothes, running at you. Kate! We gotta, be careful, they're coming! The law's coming!
Oh, who are we fighting?
The law.
The law?
That's what she said, the law.
Well, we've already got the one opening. Like, let's just set it up.
We got a better plan. Let's
Yeah?
have the gin close this side of the mountain, open up the back door, and head off into the sunset.
Sounds like a great idea.
Gin buddy!
Absolutely, yeah. The Jinn, hearing you guys planning, closes his just hands like this together, and as he does, the entry to your camp closes, and as he turns and opens them once again, the other side of this open cavern opens up on the other side, and you see the desert lying out before you. And you... What's that?
I said for Killshot Kate! For the crew!
Yeah. For Killshot Kate! Everyone cheers. And I think that's where we're gonna wrap up today. I could have a whole another session for you guys with these characters. I love that.
Heck yeah. We're down.
So,
also, I would gladly just play other characters. Like, you could take over the characters we played today, and we could just be Farty McGee, and just, like, the whole time, Charlie's like just acting it out. Also, old.
I love it.
I can't believe we didn't talk about him the
No,
whole
not even a little bit. And I had him in my notes, and I kept looking, and I was like, we talked about everybody else, but what about Colonel Mustard?
Hey, fuck that guy.
Kind of, yeah. Not opposed.
Oh man. So you guys escaped the law, but you still have no idea who was plotting to get you. You
It's
don't know
true.
who killed Tom and Pete.
It's true.
Well, we think Danger
Shane?
Dan had something to do with it.
I mean,
Dan
yes.
Danger.
Dan Danger had something.
And we got to
do
go
with
after
it.
the governor.
Yes, we do.
Governor Gilbert Garfield. What was his
Yeah,
name? It was
Gilbert.
a double G. I know that.
Yeah. I imagine you guys get back into town, after you escape the law there, and Kate, you're probably pissed. You didn't do anything illegal today. Not that illegal anyway. So you go into town, you start complaining, and that complaining turns into rallying, and the whole town gets pissed off at your because they care about you and they care about JP, and JP's just a kid. How could anyone try and take out Tom and Pete? They're kindly old men, minding their own business at the edge of town. And then they find out, well, Tom and Pete, they were gay, and Kate, you got kicked out of your home because you were a woman? Well, fuck these guys. And you guys run on the governor's mansion, you burn that mother down.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Tear down the patriarchy. That's how it ends.
Yeah. I think that's a beautiful button for the game. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No.
No.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for playing with me. You guys are, it's so clear. You guys have such great chemistry together, and I'm glad that we got to really see that in all of its glory tonight. You guys, incredible professionals. I love working with you guys.
Thank you. You
For
too,
sure,
man. That was
thank you.
great.
It's
And
so
we
much
gave you a
fun.
ton of characters
Yeah.
to play. We hit you with a ton of stuff, man.
I had fun. And thank you everyone for watching here tonight. You Awaken in a Strange Place. It's a blast to play, and for people who've been playing D&D for years and people who've never played before in their life, it's a fantastic game. I can't say enough about it. I hope we convince you to play a game yourself tonight. If you ever are looking for a game, feel free to hit me in my DMs. Anywhere you can find me at Lava Submersible. Other than that, thank you so much for coming and watching us play tonight. We had a great time. We're so glad to have you with us.
So much fun.
All right, y'all. That's it for us tonight. Good night and good journey.